All right, guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. I didn't even notice I have like dirt and shit on my hat. Anyway, thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate it as always. All right, so listen, tonight's live stream is nothing special, but we're going to talk about how bad things might get as we are watching this food shortage thing become more and more, I guess, prevalent. And people are now starting to wake up very slowly. Like I said in my video earlier this morning, people are waking up pretty slow to this. So that's one of the things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about food supply being in danger or in danger. And then the last part is going to be open talk. So whatever I see in the chat, we'll talk about it if it's worth talking about. Deborah, dude, thank you for the donations. Guys, so let's start out with how do I sound? Clearly it looks pretty good. It is time for a new hat. This is pretty bad. I think I was beating dirt off earlier. I'm not sure. So whatever. Not the point. Let's see, you guys are talking about gas again. Yeah, gas is out of control. 5x5. Thank you, guys. Good. 5x5. Appreciate it. Yeah, gas is out of control. I mean, it's probably going to get to a point where people are going to start siphoning gas from other cars. I could probably see it by the end of this year hitting probably $6-7 in some states. So listen, guys, it's insane that it's just all crumbling. Again, like I said in my video, at a fast pace for us because we are paying attention and we're seeing the future unfold, and then slow for everybody else who is not paying attention and just thinking to themselves, "Oh, this is normal. We'll get past this," kind of thinking. Now the open talk, I also added that in there, obviously because I didn't really have a third thing to talk about. I mean, listen, there's a lot of shit I could talk about, but I was going to hold off on a couple things. For example, Colin Powell, passing away of COVID. We're going to talk about that on the Angry Truth channel later tonight. And we're going to talk about how, he was vaccinated and he still died of COVID. So we're going to get into that a little bit. Not too heavy, just because, I don't know. Let's see if I get another strike or it gets canceled. Right? But nonetheless, we're gonna touch on that in a little bit. Listen, like, it sucks that Colin Powell died, no matter how what you think of him. He did contribute to this country. So, again, this guy passing away just because, he thought he was protected. And then everybody goes, when I was talking about it earlier today, they were like, well, how old was he? I think he was like 84. Oh, he was 84. He was already old. That's not the point. The point was he took the shot so that he could protect himself, and he still died of it anyway. So we're not going to get into that, but, whatever. Right? So, guys, later tonight on the Angry Truth channel, we will be talking about the Mandate Mondays. We're going to talk about the new mandates coming from Biden later, probably this week, if not next week. We're going to talk about Eric Adams, who's pretty much, guys, the new mayor of New York City. The election hasn't gone down yet, but it will, and when it does, he is going to get the majority of votes, and he will win. That's evident. But Eric Adams wants to start mandating the vaccine for kids here in New York City. So that's going to be the worst protest the city's ever seen. I think we're going to get a lot of people to protest that. And he opened his mouth saying he would like to, but that means he's going to push for it. And then we're also going to talk about the global pushback. Now, the global pushback, I wanted to talk about on the Angry Prepper channel, but because it's more, I guess, newsworthy and news-related, and it covers a lot of shit, the global pushback is going to be discussed on the Angry Truth channel later tonight. And then we're going to talk about Colin Powell, like I said earlier. So, with that, guys, let's dive into tonight's show. Now, the first topic is how bad will things get? Or how bad might things get, rather. I don't want to say will, because a lot of us, prepper channels, including myself, have said this is going to happen. A lot of the times, 90% of the times, guys, I like to say it might happen. Because it might. It might not. Whatever we talk about happening. The tsunami from La Palma Island. That's a big-ass might, or maybe, right? Super volcano going off in our lifetime. That's a maybe. I mean, it's going to go off again, but it's a maybe. So I like to say might. And as far as how bad things will get, It's the writing is on the wall. Everything's unfolding, and we are staring at it unfold. And we're watching, for example, the economy starting to collapse. Not starting to collapse, but implode, rather, right? There's so much going on with the stock market in China and how they pretty much got spanked with that evergreen nonsense, that real estate bubble that they had burst. That put them in a bad way. So that affected the market, and that's only going to get worse because they told their investors that there was no way they can pay them back. So their investors are fucked. So that's going to create another storm in a couple weeks, if not, which you'll see on this side of the planet with the market taking a dip, if not tumbling. So we're watching the food chain supply start to collapse here. We are going to the supermarket and we're seeing way less on the shelves. I mean, way less. Today I went shopping for my dog. Food shopping for the dog. And but the store I went into, there was a lot of emptiness on the shelves. I'm not going to say it was super bare, but I'm going to say there was a lot of emptiness on the shelves, guys. There was a lot of food missing. And I was like, this is a problem. So after noticing that today, come Friday, when I get paid, I'm going to buy him at least 3 months of food at a clip to make sure he has at least a year's worth of food. All right? And we're going to buy him different brands. We're going to buy him a lot of treats as well. We're going to buy him enough to keep him around for about a year or so, probably longer than that. I know that a lot of people don't treat their dogs as part of the family, but I do. So therefore, I'm also going to spend about the same amount of money, if not a little more, on him to make sure he's squared away health-wise and he's squared away food-wise. All right, so I guess the chat is turning into the Wild West tonight. Hasn't been like that in a long time. Northern Girl Hobbies is on top of it, so, and I think Jean's in here as well. She's on top of it as well. All right, listen, guys. I told you, it's a free speech a chat. You can say what you want, but if it annoys my moderators, like I said, you're in their hands. So there's not much I can do or say about it. So anyway, guys, Bjorn, man, thank you for joining me tonight. Appreciate it. So, again, guys, you got to treat your dogs as part of the family. We watched, I know a lot of you guys have seen this time and time again. Every time a hurricane or a tornado comes through, you see that dog that's stranded, left behind, right? We saw it at Katrina. We saw it here in New York with, was it Irene? And what was the other one? The big one. Superstorm Sandy, sorry, right? We've seen it with both of those. So people don't take their animals seriously. Now, cats, they're a different story because those assholes are disloyal. I can't stand cats. That's one. Two, when danger comes around, they are the first to take off, right? And people don't normally try to look for the cats because your cat can hide anywhere. A dog, on the other hand, usually likes to stay close to you, especially when they're scared. But you're still leaving your dog behind. You put it in a crate and you leave your dog behind. That's pretty much an asshole move, if you ask me. Anyway, you do what you got to do to save your pets, right? Even a goldfish. I mean, though you probably wind up fucking flushing it anyway. But nonetheless, guys, you got to prepare for your animals the same way you would prepare for yourself, right? If that makes any sense. Some of you don't agree with that. I get it. Some of you just look at a pet as being a pet. But if you're going to look at your pet being just a pet, then why even bother? Anyway, so moving right along, guys. The food supply, again, for dogs, the pet food shortage for dogs is there. Or animals, sorry, it's there. I walked into this pet store and I was like, wow, this is fucking pretty bad. So again, buying his shit as much as I can and putting away as much as I can for him as well. He only presents the problem of taking up a lot of space because those bags of dog food take up a lot of space. Nonetheless, I'm going to make it work, make room for him, even clear out a certain spot for him to pack his food or stack his food, sorry. So, again, now we're still going to the supermarkets for ourselves, human food, and we're seeing bare shelves. And it's happening real slow, guys. Now, I'm looking at it from both angles. I'm looking at it from the angle of a prepper, and I'm like, wow, this is fucking bad. I see the writing on the walls. We see the writing on the walls. But the rest of the normies, if you will, the people who are asleep, they're not going to notice it until they start going, wait a fucking, where's the Chef Boyardee? It hasn't been here in 3 weeks. Then they're going to start noticing, and by then it's too late. Right? They're going to be crying about Chef Boyardees and Spam and fucking corned beef hash and, you know, this shit that people don't really like to eat that comes out of a can that you should be eating when you're in a bad situation. But nonetheless, they're going to notice it, and they're going to notice it when it's too late. There are people who are, I hate to say this, emailing, leaving comments in different YouTubers section, looking like they're starting to panic now, saying, how do I get prepared? What do I do? And again, it's not too late. You still have time. You are, we are not at that crossroads yet. We're approaching the crossroads, but we're not there just yet. So you still have time. Some people will say it's too late. It isn't too late. If you can still find food on the shelves, it isn't too late to prepare. If you can still order MREs and freeze-dried foods, it is not too late. When you can no longer order that stuff, when you can no longer go to the supermarket and buy that stuff, then it's too late. But as of right now, it's not too late. And yes, guys, there is a bit of a panic element I'm starting to see in different states. I haven't seen it here in New York yet. There is a bit of a panic element, but why would you panic? Like I said before, it's not too late. I tell people, calm the fuck down. That's one. And take it easy. Taking a deep breath. We still got some time. When there's no more food on the shelves, when you go to the fucking shelf, guys, supermarket, sorry, and you see one can of whatever the fuck it is left on that supermarket shelf and nothing else in it, then it's too late, right? But as of right now, it's okay, and you can still prepare, if that makes any sense. I'm smart, 247, you're right, your dogs will die by you, whereas your cat will stab you in the fucking back and cut you up in little steak pieces and eat you while you lie there dead. So, and I don't know, I've always heard that. I'm not sure if that's a myth or if it's fact. Nunya Beeswax. I tell people all the time, calm down, because a lot of people are getting a little excited, and I get it. When I walked into the pet store, even I was like, oh, this shit's getting real. And I got nervous for my pet, and I'm like, yo, I got to square him away now. You know, I mean, he has like medical supplies and things like that. I have a bag of dog food ready to rock and roll, but looking at how long this might go on for, I'm going to have to get him enough to last. I said a year. I might go a little more than that. Like, the more I start thinking about it, I might go longer than that. But what was I talking about? Food shortage. Oh, panic buying. Right. So I am writing down a note to myself. So listen, guys, we are watching this whatever it is unfold, and the food shortage is only going to get worse. But like I said before, by telling people to calm down, you still got to give people options, right? You can't tell people, like, someone comes to you, one of you guys, right, on here. One of your friends come to you, and they go, how do I prepare? You can't turn around and tell them, yo, it's too fucking late, you're dead. You can't tell them that. I'm like, yo, go to the store, here's a list of shit you should buy. You give them a list, you write it down for them. You hand them the list, and you go, this is what you need to buy. And you start them with a basic list, guys, of food and water. Don't start telling them, get a dehydrating machine, don't tell them all of that shit. Get a vacuum sealer, make sure you get a rifle and a handgun and an M4. Don't start with that shit, because then they'll flip the fuck out. So, once you start showing them how to prep, you give them a very basic list of where to prep and how. You don't start asking them to get, like, solar panels so that they can make sure they're fucking self-reliant with energy. Don't go that far. Take it easy. Give them a shorter list. Faithful Prepper, what's going on? Haven't seen you in a while. I haven't seen any of your videos in a while. So thank you for joining me tonight. But that's the motto, guys. You tell your friends, if they start, yo, calm the fuck down. Take it easy, right? Smack them if you have to, or give them a Snickers bar. One or the other. But nonetheless, guys, David uh, whatever his last name says, it is too late. Again, David, if you think it's too late, then you have the quitter's attitude. Then maybe you should give what you have away to somebody else, because it's not too late. It is never. It is not over until it's over, right? And right now, it's not over. We got to be responsible, guys, as preppers, and trying to get other people to prepare or showing them how to prepare. We got to be responsible and telling them how to go about it, how to go about it responsibly, right? We don't want to scare the shit out of them, and we don't want to have them throw their hands up in the air and then they start getting scared. Because scared people do fucked up shit, and you don't want to fucking scare them any worse than they already are. Brian, yes, food stocking is common sense, but apparently people don't, not that they don't have common sense, people are comfortable in society believing that society's never going to collapse. But now that it's starting to collapse slow, some people are waking up, some people are still asleep, but those who are waking up are starting to panic. And I'm like, yo, don't panic. The panic buying shit's going to start all over again. I know, like I said, some people are seeing it in their areas already. I haven't seen it here yet, but it's not over. But for a lot of you guys that keep saying it's over, yo, you know what then? Do me a favor, go lie down in front of a fucking train if you think it's over, if it's too late. You know, we don't need that kind of bitchery in the prepper community. We need people who are going to support those who are looking to get prepared, because this is going to get exponentially bad, or it could get exponentially bad. Then what? You know? So again, we got to be somewhat responsible. I mean, I said before, I'll say it again, there's some people I don't ever want to get fucking prepared, or whatever. And for those of you that are looking or complaining about trolls, listen, if the trolls are going to troll, let them troll. Fuck them. That's what they do. Try not to pay attention to them. If no one pays attention to the trolls, what they wind up doing is they wind up leaving. Because they're like, no one's paying attention to me, you know? And then they leave. And then they go crying to their pillow, and then they wind up fucking, you know, doing something stupid, like jumping off a bridge or something. But anyway, with that, guys, the food shortage situation is in danger. I don't think that it's an if. It's a matter of how bad it's going to get. And are we going to see starvation? I know some people are saying yes, some people are saying no. I'm saying right now, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure we're going to see starvation. I don't think, I think it could get that bad. I think it can get that, I think it could get breadline bad. I think it would absolutely be, you know, something we might see. Now, before I get completely into the food supply in danger, look what China did the other day. Not that they developed, but they were developing a supersonic, long-range missile that they actually got up, operational and working. And I heard that story a couple of days ago, and I'm like, great. There goes World War III. Because if they have the capabilities of flying something that fast, that according to the somebody in the political realm said we can't defend against as of right now. So I know that the Defense Department is scrambling on how to defend ourselves against something like that, and right now we can't. It goes too fast for any of our modern technologies to take it out of the sky. So we have that to contend with this right now. We got the supersonic missile. We got the food supply chain collapsing. We got the supply chain collapsing. We have the pandemic, which seems to be, to the human eye, dying down. But I think something else is going to develop in the next couple of weeks, if not months. And so how bad are things going to get when they all come together? And that's where the big problem is. When it all comes together, what is that going to look like? What is that bad thing going to look like? How many different scenarios are going to be spawned from all of these things coming together? Because all of these are coming together as a perfect storm. That means it's going to spawn off different situations from that. And then where do we go from there, right? Night of the Living Prepper says it's not over. We are in the middle of it, but it's not over by a long shot. Exactly, guys. It's like Night of the Living Preppers. It's not over until it's over, right? So, Karen, exactly. I believe that something else is going to pop up. I know that China's gearing up for something big in their country. They think there's about to be another COVID explosion there. That's why they've been going into overdrive and force vaccinating people. They are actually in China. The rumor, let me start out with saying that. The rumor in China right now is that they are force vaccinating people. There is a video circulating the internet, which they keep scrubbing off the internet, which is why I think it's real, is of them holding a guy down in China, vaccinating him forcibly. I think he's like walking in the street, and they found him through their camera system, and they stopped him, and they were talking to him because we can't understand what they're saying, and it's from a distance. They stopped him, they're talking to him a little bit, and all of a sudden, they wrestle him to the ground, and you see the guy pull out a syringe. Now, whether the syringe had the vaccine in it or something else, we don't know. But with them talking about being force vaccinated, that video makes a lot of sense. But again, it's rumored that they're being force vaccinated, but this video lends some kind of validity to it. So, Katie, yes, thank you for bringing that up. There is a coin shortage. My wife was in Whole Foods. So my wife was in Whole Foods, and she texted me a picture of them having a coin shortage. So they're asking people to either use their debit card, which we all know what that's about, and or give exact change. So now that they want you to use your debit card more, they are looking for us to get completely and utterly reliant on digital money. Whether that's your debit card, your EBT card, your cryptocurrency, they want us to be reliant on that. And then we're going to see more chain shortages around the world, right? So that we can be more reliant on a digital system, which is easier to track, right? We all know about the IRS wanting to pry into our bank accounts to look at what we're taking out and what we're putting in, right? Again, guys, the perfect storm. What is that going to look like? When the stock market crashes, and I said this before, if the stock market crashes, that is going to be very bad. People are thinking, oh, well, if it crashes, we'll bounce back. The rich people will be okay. No. If the stock market crashes, it affects the world. And because the world is almost at double the capacity of it was back in 1929, the entire world's going to feel this all at the same time. And countries like United States, United Kingdom, China, Japan, South Korea, Australia, New Zealand, a lot of these countries are going to feel it. And it's going to be nothing short of apocalyptic. Because we don't have the same amount of assistance to help people like we did back in 1929. Right? And the stock market crash, or the effects of it, lasted, I think it was 5 years or so. 5-6 years. If I'm wrong, someone please correct me in the chat. Patty M, thank you for the donation. And exactly, Patty M, time to take your money out of the banks. But the problem is, Patty, and I said the same thing, and someone corrected me. The problem with pulling your money out of the banks is, even if the stock market crashes, your dollar is almost worth nothing, because that's how bad this next crash is going to be. Paper money would be almost useless, because that dollar that you used to buy, 2 packs of gum is now going to cost you $5 to buy that 2 packs of gum. So the money's going to be rendered almost useless. Not entirely, but almost useless. We're definitely going to see a problem if that stock market collapses. It would be nothing short of a nightmare. It's the thing nightmares are made of. And this is coming from the guy's dead now, but this is coming from a senior Wall Street, I guess not guru, but he wasn't even an analyst. He was like one of those rich elite dudes who was well embedded in the stock market. And he said if we were to see the Great Depression, and this was back in 2004, we were to see another Great Depression, it would be apocalyptic. And this was coming from him. So, it will get exponentially bad. And we don't want to see... Listen, at this point, I'd rather see World War III than an economic collapse. Because at least World War III, the nuclear option's on the table, but that doesn't mean we're going to use it. But if the stock market crashes, all bets are off. Crime will be at 100% high everywhere in this country, except for those who are carrying and are more guarded. But we're going to see crime right across the board. We're going to see starvation like you've never seen. We're going to see homelessness like you've never seen. We're going to see martial law in multiple states, and then that's going to break down. So it's going to get... definitely get bad guys. And again, I wouldn't. I would rather. I would rather see again a World War III at this point. When the economy fails, they take it to war. Nunya Beast, that is very true, right? If the economy crashes, they try to boost the economy by starting a war. But again, we start a war with who? China? Shit. Those supersonic missiles they're going to be fucking firing at us. Zoom, 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 right? So we wouldn't be able to stop it. Like I said, guys, there's a lot of repercussions with the economy collapsing. It's not just homelessness and food shortages and all that other shit. There's a lot of other things that are going to go along with it, and new problems that we probably wouldn't even thought of, right? And that's if we have an economic collapse. But it's just a matter of time. I mean, we've been saying it forever. The stock market is started reading itself that way. So, holy shit, fucking behind. Oh, Rizza Jizza, you're right. I forgot about that, right? Chicago PD, aren't they leaving in like a large amount because of the shot? Because they want them to take it. I think it's supposed to be midnight tonight, right? Midnight tonight is Monday, and if they don't have the shot in them, a lot of them are going to walk off, and a lot of them are refusing to get it, which is great. So everybody is watching Chicago right now, right? Everybody's all eyes on Chicago. So it's Chicago and also Detroit, right? Detroit as well. Sorry about that. Detroit as well. They have the same mandate going on tonight at midnight. That should be very, very interesting. We shall see tomorrow morning what it's all going to look like. Gidget, yeah, catastrophic is not the word, huh? But we shall see. Randy says Lightfoot's calling those police insurgentists. No shit. So she's already given them a name. Shit hadn't even gone down yet, and she's already given them a name. Isaiah's home. Hello. Thank you for joining me. 3,000 cops in Chicago. Wow. That's a lot. Lightfoot's going to get what she deserves. Well, yeah. Dickie Whiskey. Thank you. Dick Whiskey. Thank you for that. Yeah, let me know what goes down. I mean, obviously, I'm also going to look on the what is that called? Sorry, the news, Twitter, and all that shit to see what's going down. But it should be interesting. Again, guys, all of it coming together as a perfect storm. It's insane. Logan. That's probably a good idea. I mean, the audio probably sounds like shit, though. Unless I started an audio file while I'm recording, that might make more sense. But I could put it on. I could try to put it on the podcast. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Patty M, thank you for the donation. That's a good idea, Patty. Thinking ahead rather than backwards. Let's just say it doesn't crash, but the higher ranking people decide that regular civilians aren't allowed to take it out just to punish us. Well, right, Patty. So thank you for bringing that up, by the way. And NZ, thank you for the donation. Thank you for bringing that up. That's the other thing with the crash, too, guys. If you, that's why whoever said it earlier says time to take your money out of the banks. Because if the market crashes, guys, they can lock your money into the bank. You will all of a sudden have zero access to your money. You'll probably have zero access to your account. So if the market goes down this Friday, for an example, if the market crashes Friday, by, let's say, 5 o'clock that night, 6 o'clock that night, you're going to be locked out of your account so that you can't even move money around. They'll be a lot faster. Now, when the stock market crashed in 1929, the following morning, people went to the banks, or it was a Monday morning, they went to the banks, and the banks told everybody they had no money in the bank. There was nothing for them to give back. They couldn't get their own money out of their own bank accounts. That's how bad it was. What happened with us would be far worse than that, if it was to happen. But that's why, and Brian said, get your cash out. And he's right. But again, guys, we should see. A lot of the stock analysts are bracing for a crash. Again, it could happen tomorrow. It can happen another 5 years from now. But when it happens, it will be the most painful shit we've ever seen. Alexander said the Walmart ran out of prunes and kale juice. And he says, fuck. That's got to be a good thing. Because that sounds like a hipster cocktail. Fucking prunes and kale juice. Ugh. Yeah, but Jordan, that makes sense. He says the stock market, if the stock market crashes, will usually benefit those with money and mentally to invest, and the mentality to invest. Sorry, which results in the redistribution of wealth. It might not. Listen, I think I think if the market crashes, it's going to be so bad. Even a lot of rich people might be throwing themselves off of buildings this time, right? In 1929, there was one guy that threw himself off a building. The rumor mill started, and that's how today it got to the point where they made it sound like multiple people jumped off that day. It was only one guy, and they had his name too. It was Eric something or another, if I'm not mistaken. One guy, and I guess so many people saw it from a different angle. When they got home, it was like, oh, well, this guy jumped off this building. Well, this guy jumped off that building. And then multiple stories came out on multiple people jumping off, and it was one guy that jumped off the building. All right? But if that was to happen now, I think we have multiple people committing suicide. I don't know about jumping off a building, but I know that there'll be multiple suicides. Listen, there were multiple suicides in 2004 and 2008 when the market took a dip, or tanked in 2004 and took a dip in 2008. There were people who killed themselves because they lost their jobs. They lost their jobs, and instead of waiting it out and seeing where this was going to go, they flipped out and they killed themselves. That was in 2004 and 2008. So imagine what the next crash would look like. Remember I said how bad it would look, almost apocalyptic, or just about, or it would be, sorry. Multiple people would absolutely be committing suicide if that happened. So again, and if it happens. And now, why do we prepare? That's the exact reason why, guys. So when that kind of shit happens, we don't kill ourselves, right? We're ready to rock and roll. If we lose our jobs because of the next market crash, we turn to the food that we've been storing away for a bunch of years, right? This is why we prep, so that we can turn around to shit like that, so that we can be a little more self-reliant and not have to worry about losing our job and not having food on the table. Well, you'll have food on the table. You'll have some medical supplies in your home to take care of yourself if you get sick, right? This is why we get prepared. And then we should also be coming up with a backup plan. Now, our backup plan, guys, I told you this before, I am not a big fan of cryptocurrency, but cryptocurrency seems to be the way we should be leaning. And I hate cryptocurrency. I hate the fact that this fake money is becoming real money. But again, if you're going to adapt to what's going on, cryptocurrency is the way to adapt. Timothy, eat a can of Spam or get the jab. Obviously, I'll eat the can of Spam. Actually, if I had a choice between eating a can of Spam or getting a jab, I will double fist eating Spam. How about that? NZ, thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate it. NZ, that makes sense too. Right. But there are also a lot of people that might be defaulting on paying back in US dollars soon. That's why I think they're nervous about it. I did hear that as well. And the crazy shit is there's a lot of theories on what might happen. And then that shit in China happened and caught a lot of people off guard. They were like, well, what the fuck is that, right? So people got, again, scared and nervous when that happened. WG, sorry, thank you for the donations. Also, guys, if you don't mind, we are at the 36-minute mark. Could you do me a favor and hit the thumbs up? I would appreciate it very much. Helps with the algorithm. Or the thumbs down. All right, whatever. I guess you want to hate on me some more, start a new account and hit the thumbs down on that new account. if you want to hate on me some more. I mean, whatever floats your boat. Lick the like button. Do whatever you want. Just hit it. It's amazing how people say hit the like button and share and subscribe, and their comment gets blocked. What the fuck is that about? That's the weirdest thing. People will say some off the wall shit. Nothing. Hudson Valley and Jack Springs said, like and subscribe, and their comment was blocked. It's the weirdest thing. Spam mandate. Yeah, that's what it would become. I would be puking out of my fucking eyes spam before taking that shit. People like, oh, you sold out. You're eating spam now. Oh, well. I will sell out eating spam any given day of the week over the science experiment that, they keep pushing on us. High Flyers. Thank you. Again, High Flyer just put like and subscribe. And for some reason, they were hiding it. Strange. That's a strange one for them to be blocking. Ken Stepp, same thing. Blocked it. Spam is my meat. Okay. Who's blocking my purple aliens? It's not, it's got to be Jack Springs. It's got to be YouTube. YouTube is trying their bullshit, what is that called? Electronic mods or mod bots, or whatever the fuck they call them. Listen, yeah, and guys, if I had to take the shot or eat spam, obviously I'm eating spam, but if I'm eating spam, I'm going to have to, do that shit up, fry it, dip it in whiskey, something, to make it taste better. And I might even cry while I'm eating the spam. But nonetheless, I'm not taking a science project. The one, you never had spam? Don't. Don't have spam. Spam's disgusting. Spam is like, ugh. Jack Springs, yeah, I'm gonna try to do a live on Rumble. I'm gonna try to do a live on Rumble. I know I could do a live on Odyssey as well, but I don't have an account on Odyssey. I do have an account on Odyssey. I've never uploaded to it. I don't think. But God, man, Corodius. If I fucked your name up, sorry. He says rice, beans, and soup. Right, that's what we should be stocking up on, guys. Can soup or make your own soup and can it. Right, so make your own chicken noodle soup. Can your own chicken noodle soup. If you don't want to eat Progresso's or Campbell soup, can your own soup. I make my own soup every year after Thanksgiving. The leftover turkey, I let it sit in broth or water for probably 8 hours overnight. 5 hours of that is on a low simmer. The last 3 is just soaking in its own, what you call it, and that's the best soup I've ever had. And then I would can my own soup in that instance. You will be silenced in the New World Order. Nicole says you will be silenced in the New World Order. Listen, guys, the New World Order, the more I'm watching the pushback, and we're going to talk about the pushback on the Angry Truth channel, but the more I look at this pushback going on globally, unless they unleash the fucking, the Kraken, right? The virus called the Kraken. And let's just call it that for now. If they release that, then yeah, New World Order is going to go into effect, and it's going to be some shit we didn't expect. But if they don't, because they're scared of what it might do, then the New World Order is not going to go according to plan. Or at least it's not going to go according to their timeline. So we might not see the 2030 and 2030. It might happen in 2050 if they don't get control of what's going on. There's a pushback all over the world. If this pushback stays the course, then we could win this. But remember what I said a couple weeks ago. In the game of chess, sometimes your opponent will make you believe, or make it look like you're winning, and make you believe you're winning, and then pull a move on you that you didn't see coming and win the game. They can also be doing that, right? They can also be making us, they could also have us believe we're winning this fight and pull something out of their ass. So if they release this virus, something new, I don't even think it's a different strain. I think it's something new. If they release this, then they'd be right on track. So we have to wait and see. We have to wait and see what this new virus is and what the mortality rate is. You can only brainwash people for so long until you have to be a little more forceful. And people are not buying the bullshit anymore. People are waking up, and they're seeing a bigger resistance. They're seeing a bigger resistance than they thought. So, a Truck Campbell. I stock whiskey for both trade and use, right? Mostly for trade. There are medical benefits to whiskey. I have to write down the list of medical benefits, but one of them was slowing down Alzheimer's, and that was a study that they were doing, or is still currently being done. Obviously, a study like that is going to take a few years, but yeah, there's a lot of medicinal purposes to whiskey, vodka, and wine, red wine, right? So we shall see. I use it for both. I use it for trade, and I have an absorbent amount of whiskey now. I'm the guy that goes to the whiskey store, and I'm like, oh man, that whiskey looks good. Oh shit, that whiskey looks good. Fuck it, I'll take it all, right? And then I come home with 4, and the wife is yelling at me about the other 3, right? So, I have so much now. I can trade with it, right? And I could use it medicinally. I could use it just to drink and calm myself down. Now, responsible drinking, guys. You can use liquor to calm yourself down, preferably red wine and whiskey. You can, if you drink just one drink to calm your nerves, you'll be good. Damn it, man! I just saw a comment and I was gone. Someone said about drinking whiskey and whistle pick. Tommy Saluter. Sorry. Yeah. Listen, all whiskeys are pretty good, except for the ones that are high in sugar. You might not want that because that's not going to calm you down, obviously. But if you take, like, let's say bourbons or American whiskey, now there is a difference. It's starting to catch on. I talk about American whiskey. People are like, that's Kentucky, and no, there's actually a type called American whiskey. It's not Kentucky. It's not Kentucky or bourbon or what's the other one? Idaho. It's American, and it's a sweeter whiskey. And then you have Japanese whiskey, which is sweeter than American whiskey. I try to stay in the realms of American whiskeys. And there's one called Midnight Moon. Midnight Moon is an American whiskey. If you guys look it up, you'll see it. It's starting to catch on. It's starting to become a thing, right? It's not bourbon. It's its own, or it's not rye. It's its own like type of whiskey. Cat Fiend Preps. Yes, I do have some moonshine, and it was given to me by Appalachian Prepper, right? Appalachian Prepper, the young lady on YouTube. She sent me some, and I thought I was gonna fucking die. Right? It's good, but I thought I was gonna die. I mean, it was like a little sip, and then I was fucking off to the races. I'm a bitch when it comes to drinking. I have to admit that, right? You give me like a smidgen of whiskey, and I'm out like a light. Like right now, I have this. This is a poor man's whiskey sour, right? A poor man's whiskey sour. And a poor man means I used lemonade, a lemonade drink, and some whiskey. I didn't put the liquid sugar and all that other shit in there. And it's starting to get me really, really tired. So, again, I could sniff whiskey and I'm out like a light because I'm a lightweight. But yet I like whiskey. Go figure. Bigfoot. I don't smoke weed, but yeah, for those of you that do smoke weed, smoking weed can definitely take the edge off. So you guys should definitely look into that if you are. And good weed, guys, the good shit, not that shit that's sprayed or cut or fucking good weed, guys. And I do know the difference between good weed and bad weed. Norwegian get in trouble juice. Nice one, Bjorn. Jane Brock, you said buy dog food from Chewy. Why is that? I wouldn't. I buy from a local pet food store, right? That's where I go to get my my dog's dog food. And right now, my dog is eating Taste of the Wild. I know that there are better ones out there, but that's what he's eating right now. Shit. Okay. Trying to. All right. Trying to plug in the laptop. I had 50% like 10 minutes ago, and I looked again, and it was at 8%. Chewy is awesome, well stocked, and delivered. Nancy, thank you for that. All right, fair enough. And what is made in China? For those of you that are saying it's made in China, what's made in China? Walmart. Chewy is Walmart. Oh. Wait, Taste of the Wild is made in China? Because I went on the guy's website. I thought it was made here, unless I'm missing something. Just harvest. Lots of dog food. Everything. Yeah, I know everything's made in China, but they said, "Oh, it's made in China." I'm like, "What's made in China?" Junk. Okay, thank you, Gabe. You can get antibiotics on Chewy as well. All right. Oh, it's made in the U.S. Okay. What happened to Tent Town in the park? Derek, what tent town in the park? Which one? Because there's a lot of tent cities popping up all over New York. Now I haven't seen anything up here just as yet, but damn it, I haven't seen anything up here yet, but I know a lot of them are downtown. And Tommy Slaughter, I will check the email right after this live stream. So thank you for that. Okay, everybody's swearing by Chewy, so maybe I'll give it a shot. Oh, Amos. Oh, yes, I know that dog food from China is no good at all. Yeah, I am very particular of what dog food I give my dog. Right? We had him eating a farmer's dog, which is like a natural, real dog food. Chicken, beef, whatever it is. Certain beans that dogs can digest. Very, very good for the dog. But it was super, super expensive. And Chris Rigo says Chewy is overpriced. Okay. Also get food from Raw Feeding. 80% cheaper and good trade. Tony, yes. Tony Tran, thank you for that. He says most dogs can eat human food. Yes, you're right. No shit, Mark Olson. So, 10 cities in Patterson, New York? Not New Jersey, right? New York. Yes, this turned into a Chewy commercial like that, right? Talking about dog food, and all of a sudden people are like, Chewy's the best, Chewy's overpriced, fuck Chewy. I love Chewy, Chewy's greatest. And I'm like, what just happened? Holy shit. Listen, guys, we're talking about dog food and shit like that, so fuck it. Why not? So now we're in the open talk session. We have 10 minutes. I think, guys, I'm going to start the Angry Truth live stream right away. So there's not going to be much of a lag. I'm not going to give it the 15 minutes. Because I'm going to try to keep that one half hour, 45 minutes. And then off I go. Yeah, Mike Smith, right. 10 cities are popping up all over America, right? So it's not just like New York or LA where it probably started first. It's popping up all over, And it's getting out of control. That's the problem. These liberal Democratic mayors and governors are letting it run rampant, go unchecked. And then they start wondering why they're having problems with crime and disease. Right? John Wyatt. No, I'm not allowed to have body armor in the city unless I am a law enforcement and or peace officer status or some shit. So, and even then, I don't even think as a fireman I can get away with getting body armor. Now I have body armor, but that's because I trained down south a bunch of years ago, down in Blackwater, right? Sorry, Blackwater. I trained down there, and I had body armor from that, and I have a plate and everything. But I don't think I'm supposed to have it, but whatever. That was my reasoning for having it, my reasons for having it, and I haven't taken it out of the storage unit since I put it away. So it's not like it's in my home. Ken, yes, we can talk about water filters and saving water. Now, you see people all the time talk about water filters and like making their own. Don't, I wouldn't say don't make your own, try to make your own, but try to buy the water filters that are out there now, and the water filter companies like Brita, which is okay. There's another one I use called Something Zero. Either Something Zero. Just look up water filter and then type in like zero something. I keep forgetting the name. They make one of the best ones out there. And then you have the big one, the Berkey water filters, right? And there's multiple ones that you can put under your sink and things like that. So these are going to help you in the long run, these water filters. Even now, guys, if you have like hard water in whatever area you live in, this is definitely going to cut that shit out. Zero water. Thank you, Jack Spring. Zero water. Zero water, I swear by it. I swear by the filters and everything. Very good to have. I would guys, if you can, with the water filters, whether it's the Berkey water filter, the professional ones that they use in like gyms and movie theaters and restaurants that you can actually also get for your home, that you would put like under the sink, right? Try to get those water filters and get a bunch of them in advance, right? So get like, I would say 12, right? Or however much you can afford. Because there's going to be a shortage on those very soon as well, because of the global supply chain's collapsing, and you might be without clean water. So you should get yourself as many as you possibly can, or as many as you can afford, or if not, buy one a month. Whether you need it or not, just buy it. Stack it away, guys. I know there are a lot of places that have hard water and they need it. You don't want to be drinking that shit water, because your filter burned out. So do yourself a favor and start stacking them away. As far as saving water goes, for emergencies, a lot of people use those round jugs. But when you live in an apartment and you're looking to save room, I would get the square 5-gallon jugs, or if not, a 55-gallon drum, and you can store water in there as well. That's probably your better bet. And measure out your water. Now, they say a gallon a day per person, but try to make it 2 gallons a day per person, especially if you're putting water away for emergency use. Because you might want to use some of that water to clean. You're definitely going to use some of that water to drink and cook, right? So try to go with 2 gallons of water a day per person. And in a lot of cases, guys, you're not going to drink the entire gallon that day. You're just not, right? But it's better to have more water than you actually need. And if you can actually catch rain by using a rain catcher, do that as well to replenish your water, right? So that should help in the long run. But as far as the water filters go, guys, I would stock up on as much as I can. Yes, Kim Farm said you got water in your water heater. Yes, that's excess water. You could definitely use that for emergencies. Here in the city, we don't have too many options. You have the some people say your toilet tank. You could get water out of there. You could probably filter that. That's such a small amount of water. You can use something like a Life Straw, for that kind of water. But when you have water like hydrant water, and I'm going to show you guys what hydrant water looks like and what standpipe water looks like, and how hard it is to filter those. Super hard. You can do it, but you're not going to yield the same amount of water, obviously. North Shore Preparedness, man. Thank you for joining me tonight. Blue drums. That's right. Make sure when you get the 55-gallon drum, guys, they're if I'm not mistaken, make sure they're like the blue ones, the more solid ones, the ones that don't break down over time and so easy. People have put water in those cheaper barrels, and over time, the barrel, because also they had it on concrete, broke down and water leaked out. Right, so keep that in mind as well. Get a good, dependable barrel when you're storing your water away. You don't want your shit to break down. You don't want a rat to chew at it and it starts leaking. You want to get yourself something substantial that that's going to hold up over time. 500-gallon rainwater catchment system. Okie Rebel says, have yourself a 500-gallon rain catchment system. Obviously, guys, if you have a house or good or backyard, not a good backyard, just a backyard, that's probably good to have. If you live in a city, you're up Schitt's Creek. That's why they say get out of the city. Tuscany, thank you for that. Thank you for the words. Appreciate it. What is it? Toscanano Cienti. I'm sorry if I messed your name up, but anyway. I have 5-gallon water jugs. They're square, so they can put it away. Amna said get a water bob. For those of you that don't know, a water bob is a bathtub bladder that holds about 100 gallons of water. Very good to have, awesome to have. You should definitely have one of those, especially if you live in an apartment. Chuck Campbell, my body armor situation is I have body armor because of the training I did in Blackwater. That's all. It's in a storage unit because I haven't used it or don't have any need for it as of yet. As of yet. But it's stored away right now. Get out of New York. Yeah, Mike Smith, I know. Get out of New York. My kids want to stay for school. Me and the wife had another discussion on it again. But she wants the kids to finish the school here because they have friends and, yada, yada, yada. And, bleeding heart stories of our kids need friends. Our kids don't need any friends. They need to get out of the city so we can stay alive. But, whatever. Listen, kids are getting shot here in New York City. There are more kids dying in the inner cities, than dying from the virus. And yet, nobody is focusing on that problem. They're worried about them getting inoculated, or Eric Adams is worried about them getting inoculated, but not worried about them dying on the streets. And that's a simple fact. Everybody that I argue with about, the kids should take it, I'm like, yeah, kids shouldn't be getting a fucking bullet in their head, but they are. Why are we not worried about that? There are more kids dying exponentially fucking faster by bullet than by virus. Yeah, Val, you're right. Kids are not kids are overrated. Friends are overrated. I said the same shit. And I was like, she looked at me like I was an asshole for saying that, but, whatever. You can only fight with your wife about so much. A lot of you women know that already. And a lot of you guys know that. You can only argue with your wife so much about so many things, right? But yeah, we are dying to get out of here. But we're trying to be, easy about it. Brian Keith Prepper, yeah, you're right. They don't care. They're worried about fucking, we should get them inoculated and not, we should put bulletproof vests on them, whatever. Block it. Kids are overrated. Yeah, kids can be overrated. But I have kids, so I guess I shouldn't say that. I don't know. They never... Nope, they haven't. And it's funny, though. If you bring that up to a politician, you're going to be an anti-vaxxer in a second. And then they're gonna beat that drum until they run you out of there. And it's funny how Fauci earlier this week said, "Oh, guys, we should make this a political stance." When he was talking about the booster shot, we shouldn't make this a political stance. This should be about science and facts. I'm like, yeah, good job, Dickface. Mike, thank you for the donation, man. Mike, I heard that too. I heard that actually a couple months ago, but I can't see them doing that. What's going on, Joe's video blog? I'm a fucking idiot. I'm trying to do touchscreen on my computer, which is not touchscreen. And I'm sitting there going, why isn't this working in my head? What a fucking asshole I am. Anyway, Mike, back to your question. I heard the same rumor, but I haven't seen anything official yet. I know a couple of guys in my firehouse are vets, and they haven't heard or seen anything yet. So, I wouldn't be surprised, but we shall see. I can't see them withholding their money because, and what I'm about to say might sound fucked up, but this also might be true. I can't see them withholding veterans' pays. because veterans right now, guys, are killing themselves at a higher rate than they ever been. So now you got this vet sitting at home waiting for his money, and now you're going to force him to take some shit he doesn't need, that he knows he doesn't need, that he doesn't want. And then you're going to withhold his paycheck from him. You're going to see that suicide rate jump up even more. So I don't really see them doing that, though I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, reverse that. I don't see them doing that, and I would be surprised if they did, because that would be irresponsible of the United States government to withhold money from vets who are already down and out. Red Beards Racing, do me a favor. Because you said you confirmed it, could you send me any information on that? I would absolutely like to do a story on it. At the very least, read up on it myself. If the VA is refusing care because they're not vaccinated. I'm definitely, Benton. I've had a cat before. I didn't like the cat. The cat was not loyal. So if you're going to cry about that, about me not liking cats, I guess this is not the channel for you. Because then I'm going to make you fucking hate me for the last couple comments I'm going to say about cats. So leave well enough alone. And just, I don't like cats. So don't get me wrong. That's not saying I won't save a cat out of a tree. Ha ha ha. And not saying that I won't, take a cat in if they need a home. I'm just not a big fan of cats. But I think, whatever. Cats, the other white meat. Ugh. Verona Tragedy. I don't hate cats. I just don't like them. Yes, I do hate hipsters. Yeah, you're right about that. Hipsters are dick faces. Don't get me started on that bullshit. Do the medical stuff now while you still can. Avert the Herd said, do the medical stuff while you can. Absolutely right, sir. Northern Girl Hobby says, band together and fight the bullshit. Absolutely. Fight all the bullshit. Tommy, I'll read your email after this. Dark Mom said she has 2 cats and they are assholes. Matthew Johnson, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. All right, guys. All right, so do me a favor. The last couple seconds, do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down. Again, whatever floats your boat, whatever makes you happy, whatever makes your nipple hard, lady. Just hit the thumbs up, thumbs down. If you hate me because I hate cats, hit the thumbs down. Pretty sure that'll make you go to, you'll sleep better at night. Again, Benton, I've known cats. I've been around cats multiple times. I am not a big fan of them. Hence my observation on cats being dick faces. Right? Anyway. So, guys. Never share. Anyway, guys. I'm going to head over to the Angry Truth channel right now. If you guys don't mind, you can follow me over there as well. For those of you that hate me for hating cats, don't follow me over there. Whatever, man. But I will see you guys in a couple of minutes. Damn it, man. I just saw Okie Rebel. Okay. Okie Rebel said, VA is not refusing treatment here in Oklahoma. My son is law enforcement and is a vet, and he's not vaxxed. All right. But that's not to say it's not happening in other states, though, right? Carrot Top, what channel? It's the Angry Truth channel. That's the next channel I'm headed over to now. Fake butt preppers. It's probably me or whatever. Doesn't matter. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for following me tonight. I appreciate the donations. And see you guys in 2 minutes. Thank you.